Hola, ¿qué pasa?
Hola, ¿qué pasa? ¿Cómo está? Me llamo Cristobal. ¿Dónde está el baño y aeropuerto?
Miguel.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Now that we've established that, welcome to the Chris and Mike Show.
Welcome to the Chris and Mike Show, and we are here, not live, but you know. Look.
Is it live or Memorex?
Was it Memorex? I got a salad, and true to form, it's a big salad. I don't do small salads. I do big salads because Nikki likes big things, so I always make sure I have a big salad.
You don't just get two small salads and put them together?
You could. You absolutely could.
For you Seinfeld fans out there?
Right. Let's see if I had the media button. I'd go, dum ching. I don't have the media button again.
That's a great episode. Poor George, he just wanted credit for buying the big salad.
George wants credit for everything, man. George just needs to chill the fuck out.
Well, you know, he didn't have a lot going on.
No. George never does.
Short, stocky, bald guy.
Short, stocky, bald guy. With man boobs. I remember that. Whenever he took episodes where he took his shirt off, it's like, really? Is that necessary? I can't unsee that.
Especially the one where they did the painting of him, where he was involved in the mail fraud.
Yeah, that was funny, though.
That was hilarious.
Yeah.
How'd you know about the guy in the park? Oh, that's a different episode.
Yeah. I had the Kramer forever. I still have it. Nikki won't let me hang it up anymore, though. We had it hanging up forever, man. It was pretty legit. I liked it.
The coolest thing I've ever seen is the Kramer guitar painted like Kramer. So it's a Kramer.
That would be cool, man.
I have a picture of it on my phone. I'll find it and send it to you. You got to see it. It's awesome.
Very cool, man.
Yes. The Kramer.
The Kramer. If you know what we're talking about, then where the fuck have you been for the last, 100 episodes or something?
Yeah, do yourself a favor if you haven't watched Seinfeld and you thought you didn't like it, because I didn't think that I was a fan when it was on back in the day. You know, I went back and watched all the reruns later on, and I was like, boy, was I wrong. Jeez.
Well, and the nice thing about Seinfeld, as long as you can get past the first season and a half, then you're good.
Yeah, and maybe that was it, because we're old enough. We watched it when it came out live, and I think the first season really did turn me off back in the day. And I don't think I continued on after that, because we were starting the band and I didn't watch a lot of TV. So
yeah, it was you can't watch TV when you're a band, man. You gotta. Mama K's gonna be like, "What the fuck did he say?" Without the fuck word. So check this shit out, right? So, and I'll just drop the name now because it doesn't matter. So Todd's the one that completely blew off Nikki's birthday. We caught him in lies and bullshit, right? So, motherfucker that he is, he exploited the birthday thing that I do for past clients, because he was a client of mine. Took advantage of that. I called him out. He ignored it. Then, this petty ass, I'm stuck in high school, because really he's stuck in high school, blocked me.
What?
I did nothing wrong. I'm not the one that fucking fed the bullshit story. I'm not the one that didn't show up to a party that he knew about like at least 4 months in advance. And if you were in our world now here locally and you saw how he interacted with us and saw how he interacted with Nikki, you'd be just as fucking pissed off that he didn't show up as I was. But then to completely ignore all the communication since then, and then block me. And the only reason I know he blocked me is I went on our high school page where we had a really cool graduating class. So we have 400 people on there that's always engaging and shit. And he had posted something. And so I went on there for something completely different. And then I was scrolling down just as you do, right? And it was all of a sudden I couldn't find him. I'm like, that's weird. So I searched his name in the toolbar and it doesn't exist. I'm like, well, that would be weird if he took himself, off the Facebook.
Right.
And then I went to my page and searched his name. Yeah, it doesn't exist. Motherfucker blocked me, which is ironic because he claims he doesn't know how to do social media shit. He's that guy. Oh, I don't know how to do this. I don't know anything about the Facebook and stuff, dude, whatever. So, Merry Christmas, Todd. So and
like, what was your communication to him? You know, as in, we've established you did nothing wrong.
I did nothing wrong.
He didn't show up.
Right.
But what was when you reached out to him, what did you say that he didn't feel a need to respond to? I'm curious about that.
Well, the first one was the day before the party. I asked him if he could show up early and help grab the food. That went completely unanswered. It was read, completely unanswered. And then all of a sudden, you know, like I said, 2 hours before the party was going to start.
I love those people that have their read receipt on.
Yeah.
And then don't respond. It's like,
right.
Hello.
Yeah, dumbass. So then he texted us 2 hours before the party that day and spun his bullshit. And so I never responded to that because I was just like, whatever. I wasn't going to, you know, I ignored that because it was like, it's kind of like, what am I supposed to say? You're a dick. Because I know you're lying. I know it's not true. I know what you're doing is just spinning the truth because you want to do something else. Because he's acting like he was stuck at work. Well, you can't be stuck at work when you're not working.
Right. That's tough.
So then he runs into my son at the gym while Jake was in town. And the first thing out of his mouth to Jake is, you know, how the Marine Corps life? Jake answers that question. And then the entire remaining probably 10, 15 minutes of conversation was all about Todd.
Oh, God.
And the funny thing is, you know, how he just, when you lie so much, you don't know what you're lying about. You don't know who you've lied to, and you lose track.
Yes.
That's why you just fucking tell the truth, man. So much
you got to
easier.
keep track of all the stories you've told.
Right. So he tells us on Thanksgiving that his divorce that's been going on for 5 years, that he had it with the arbitrator. They were done. They hit an impasse, and he like, I'm out, walked out, and then they stopped him, and he came back in, and you know, they came to an agreement. Okay, cool. So then it has to go to family court. It's got to go to the judge. Judge has to sign off on all that shit. So he's trying to make my son believe that from Thanksgiving holiday, the Friday holiday, nobody works. So then you have the next week. He's trying to convince Jake in that short week after Thanksgiving that the divorce was finalized on Nikki's actual birthday, the 6th. But he was so hammered that's why he didn't respond.
Bullshit.
Right. Exactly. That's why. And so the cool thing is, because I was talking to Nikki about it, and I was like, it ends up being a blessing in disguise because we've talked about it before. It's that one-sided friendship. Right. And he just,
but it's such a bummer when you find out so many years into a friendship, like, you know.
Well, and I've seen it and I saw it. I just kind of chose to kind of just take it as a grain of salt, you know.
And I think we've all been there.
We've all been there.
If you consider yourself above average intelligence, you've all had a friend that you've kind of tolerated.
Yeah. And that's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
And Nikki pointed out something to me because then we went to see the Atomic Punks. So my buddy Tyler Thompson, who I've known ironically about 2 years longer than I know of Todd. Tyler and I have the same birthday, which is kind of cool. I met him in junior high, 7th grade, and he's my birthday buddy, like legit. So he's like, "Hey, what are you guys doing tonight? This Saturday?" And I was like, "Yeah, I don't know, a couple options. Why?" And well, my buddy's opening up for Atomic Punks in Marquee Theater. I was like, "All right." So Nikki's like, "Cool, let's go." Fucking terrible. His buddy's band, Stereo Rex, fucking terrible. Just the dude asked the crowd 9 times, "How are you?" "How are you, Tippy?"
Oh no,
"Tippy, Arizona, how are you?"
You only get like 2 of those, right?
9 fucking times. Okay,
it's like Ferris Bueller, 9 times.
Right. And then, so
you're a front man. How many do you get in a show?
One. You ask one fucking time.
If you're the opener, right?
No, just in general, you ask one time. Never, ever, ever.
The city name for sure. I'll give you that.
Right.
But you could get a. All right.
No, I never
asked the question. Now I'm arguing. So
no. But I never did. To me, how you doing? You know, ballroom, because electric ballroom. I would say the venue. How you doing, Mason Jar? Right. That's it. They response. Now later during the set, I'll ask them if they're having a good time. I'd ask them if they want a free beer.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I'd introduce the band. I'd ask stuff like, you know, who's the first time seeing us? You know, who's Virgin Cherry are we going to pop tonight? You know, that kind of shit. But I never asked the crowd over and over again, "How you doing, Chappie?"
I'm not arguing a bit. Fucking 9 times I would be like, we're fucking fine. Play some music.
But see, the problem is they weren't the original. They didn't open before the Punks. They were like second on the set list, and then this wasn't all girl band, but it was a 16 to 18-year-olds, and they didn't me with mic checks. Like I would always sing something in the mic check. I would always sing something low, and then I'd sing something high and hold out my scream, right?
Yeah, so that they get a range.
Thank you. What I've learned, and I haven't been out to see live bands for so long, but what I learned by watching these people Marquee Theater, which Marquee Theater, man, the fucking place is Marquee Theater. Like
it's a nice place.
Right. They have the sound system. They have the lights. They have the stage.
For the people at home,
yeah,
this is a really cool venue. It seats maybe, 2,000, 3,000 people?
2,000 to 3,000 if you go balcony, yeah.
Yeah, so we'll say 2,500 and split the difference. The cool thing about this that you've never seen before, I think it was designed by Frank Lloyd Wright, to be honest. The stage spins around, ladies and gentlemen.
That's celebrity theater. Marquee Theater stage.
Oh, that's right. That's right. That's right. You're right.
It's okay.
We never played the Marquee, did we?
We didn't, no. We played but the ballroom had, the big side of the ballroom had the same capacity.
Yes.
So
sure.
we played the equivalent of Marquee's capacity at the Electric Ballroom.
Okay.
So,
that gives me an idea. I never saw a show there, so.
Yeah, and that's what it is. It's just like the ballroom.
So the guy that said 9 times. How long was their set?
Just 5 songs. 5 songs.
Oh fuck me.
Okay, so here's the funniest thing though, dude. Okay. out of five songs, they played one cover, played Eddie Money's "I Think I'm in Love," which the crowd loved.
That's a great song. Yeah.
Right, the crowd loved it. The other 4 songs, the bass player, shit you not, he comes up. Oh, I'm gonna introduce this next song. And understand these guys are like the drummer, Tyler's friend, the drummer's 60 years old. So everybody else in the band's got to be in their 50s. Okay.
Okay.
The bass player who kept playing his bass up here. Like you can hang it down here, but he kept.
I ran sound for a band. A guy did that. He was a bass player too, up around his neck.
Right. But just fucking stupid. Like he didn't have to, but he was just he was way over animated.
Oh no.
For the second band to go on probably 8 bands, because we didn't end up staying, because by 9 o'clock we were all just like, what the fuck, man? Where's this
You didn't see the Atomic Punks?
No, because it was. They're good, we had to get up. I know we had to get up to the next day and do a 5.5 mile training run, and we'd already been up all day and all that kind of shit. It's just in Marquee standing room, and it's not good for runners to stand the night before a long run. There's all kinds of excuses, but what it comes down to is Tyler looked at me. He's like. He looked at his wife, Brandy. She's like, you want to go home? She's like, yes.
That tells you everything you need to know.
And Tyler's like, we're old, man.
I'm not saying that couldn't have been me.
No,
I've been known to do that too.
Right. So back to the Stereo Rex. The coolest thing about Stereo Rex was their logo. On the side of the stage, they had these stands up, and it looked like Sirius XM. That's kind of what their logo was. So I gave them props for that.
Okay.
The musicianship was great. Like the guitarist, the bass player, and drummer, fucking tight. They played. They had start and stops in their songs. By all means, you could tell they were a tight band. That musicianship wise, solid. They can't write songs for shit. When the bass player came up to do his introduction thing of this next song, it was called "Bad Decisions," and he tried to say to the crowd of people, "This is a song about bad decisions. I've done nothing in my life but make bad decisions, and it's all about beer and." Something else. I forget what it was, because that's how fucking stupid it was. And we all kind of you could see the crowd kind of like, what? Like, what are you, 12? You're fucking over 50 years old. You haven't made bad decisions because you're obviously playing in a band. You have to be responsible to be in a band to a certain extent.
That's a true story, ladies and gentlemen.
But it was just kind of like, what the fuck?
Certain extent are the key words.
Yes. They didn't play the crowd. They didn't read the crowd.
Okay, so.
Yeah.
Not to interrupt you, but
no. You're good. This is a conversation. Go ahead.
And I actually got questions because I dig music. I like talking about music.
Right.
I know what you mean, so I'm not hammering you. I want
absolutely.
you to explain to the people at home.
Okay.
What do you mean by they can't write songs for shit? What is your constructive criticism? Because that's what Tony would give us. That's what I would give you if I had seen him. Right. What made them turn you off as a songwriter and a listener?
The singer was not engaging at all. He had no stage presence. He had no charisma. Right. Okay. he would do stuff like he'd start clapping his hands, right? Nobody followed with him because
you would have been like, come on, it's fucking
Right.
Friday night. We're at the Mason jar.
Right.
Let's go. Fuck. Let's
Right.
go.
But I prefaced it like, all right, everybody, now we're gonna give Scott a little hand here, right? Because Scott's
Yes.
gonna lay down this beat, and Scott starts, ding, ding, ding. Come on, follow Scott the beat, follow the beat. There you go.
Yes.
Step away from the mic.
And
There
we
you go,
wouldn't
there
stop.
you go,
We
there you
wouldn't
go.
start until you
Right.
got him going. Yes.
Right.
I got it.
Exactly.
Yes.
This dude just goes up there, and then he's like, yeah, and then Tyler looks
Because
around
there
like,
were times when you would be like, Mike's not going to play shit. Rick's not going to play shit. It's
Oh, yeah.
me and Scott and you until
Uh-huh.
everybody's engaged. Yeah.
yeah,
I got
because
it. All right.
because that's the thing. Because everybody has that. I don't want to clap my hands. Fuck you. You're at a concert. It's dark. Fucking have fun. But so he would do this shit, clap the hands and stuff, and then like he got the crowd to do it. And Tyler and I are looking back at the crowd, and everybody's just like. So this is where it gets really bad. Oh, so back to the answer to the question, song wise, they were cheesy, but they weren't. There wasn't a catch to them. And
But you said their musicianship was good.
musicianship was fantastic.
What about
Like
the way they wrote the music?
That was
turned you on?
cool. The music itself was cool. It was the songwriting
Okay.
lyrics that they put to it.
I got you.
They had one song that all you could understand was yeah, and they said yeah like 8 times. So legit, the second time around, I just kept looking at Tyler. Yeah, yeah.
Because
So,
you couldn't understand anything in between.
No, because the mic check was this. Check, check, check. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Check, check, check. 1, 2, 1, 2. Check, check, check.
You're the singer, dickhead. You got to sing.
Right? Thank you. The band before them, which just made me think of that, they had no backing vocals at all. It was just the one guy singing, just the vocalist. There was none of the guys in the band backed him up, nothing.
That'd be like me not turning my volume up for a song.
Yeah, because I'm sitting there watching them, the first band, and there are moments like because of the experience and shit. So they're playing whatever song they're playing, and in my head I'm like, backing vocal, repeat that line. Repeat that line.
Yeah,
And
you
they're
were
not
really
repeating-
good at knowing where the backing vocals needed to be.
Right, and they weren't repeating the line. So in my head, I'm repeating the line, and then I started paying attention like, oh, shit, he's the only one with the microphone. That's fucking stupid, because their sound would have been so much bigger
Yes.
if they would have had the bass and guitars backing up. Now, Tyler's buddy's band, Stereo Rex, they all sang with him. Like, they all had mics. There was 4 mics on stage. Drummer sang backups, and the bass and the guitars sang backups. They had some really cool music changes where they stopped on a dime and then started back up. That kind of dynamic is cool because that shows the tightness, right? That shows that you can count and shows that you've rehearsed. The music itself, I could see writing songs too. They just whoever writes the songs just suck. Now, in their defense, Tyler told me later that they're mostly just a cover band, which explains a lot. Because if you're just locked in the box of a cover band, and then you're playing 4 original songs, trying way too hard, because he even mentioned, come on, everybody, like, let's, engage with me, cheer for me, all that kind of shit. We want Atomic Punks to invite us back. I'm like, Tyler, dude, they're not coming back for Atomic Punks. They're not, because it was falling on deaf ears. Partly because the singer you couldn't understand because the level wasn't done right, because all he did was check 1, 2, check 1, 2. I'm listening. How's that? Check, check, check. Like, no. So the next band, all the better. 16 to 18-year-olds. The bass player was 16, drummer, guitarist, and the singer 18. Female singer, which I love female singers. I love the dynamic of the voice,
too.
but the same fucking thing, man. And this kid on guitar, dude. Fuck me. I was in. I don't really watch the musician per se. I start on the vocals and branch out. This kid on that guitar, dude, was fucking phenomenal. Like, he knows what he's doing, and he knows how to play the crowd.
I love seeing that.
He was banging his head. He was going back and forth different sides of the stage, but he wasn't fucking up and doing so. He wasn't out of breath. He was going with the flow of the music. He would engage a little bit on the mic every now and then throughout their 6-song set list. But again,
that's a trick too, ladies and
Oh
gentlemen.
yeah.
Because most people, and we were guilty of it too, but we could move around a little bit.
Yeah.
Our practice space, most bands, they face the drummer. They set their whole practice the guitar player's on one side, bass player, singer's in the middle, and you're all facing the drummer. You actually practice the polar opposite of the way you play a show, right?
Yep.
Most bands do. And then if you watch, especially nowadays, you got YouTube to look at. You see like David Gilmour or Kiss, when they're preparing for a show, they'll rent an airplane hangar or a sound stage or something. And they set up the way they're going to play on stage. But you're exactly right, man. To be able to walk and play a guitar, that's a whole different practice regimen. I didn't mean to do the thumbs up, but anyway.
No, you're good. No, and I just pulled them up because, again, because
to be that young, that's great.
Oh, yeah. And so, but it's had the same problem with the singer. The chick wasn't, I wasn't paying attention to the mic check when they were coming out because, we were all kind of talking and laughing about Stereo Rex. But I don't remember her singing in her sound check. I don't remember that at all.
That's so odd for a singer not to sing.
I know.
During their sound check. That shows their level of expertise, though. Like the amount of times they've been out. We were super lucky that we had a pro as our sound man for quite a while.
And Jason yelled at me the first time.
He yelled at me too, man, all the time.
The first time we ever did a sound check, he comes up, he's like, "Bro, I don't want to hear check. Fucking sing.
Yeah,
sing something low." Sing something high. I need to get your range, and if you do anything dynamic, I need that. And so then
that's where that joke came from. You're the singer.
Right.
Fucking sing.
Right. So I would start. I every show I'd start with. She lived on the curb in the road.
I remember that was
an
awesome.
tar paper shack. Wait, I don't remember. Lived off the curb on a road outside a tar paper shack. Anyways, wild-eyed, crazy Mary, because that got my low.
Great song.
That got my low, right?
Yeah.
And then I would probably do. I think I did the chorus for Interdiction Divine because that was high. So he had my dynamic. This chick, like, you could tell she had the rock and roll voice and a little bit of punk to him.
A little raspiness.
Not so much raspiness, but just the way that they portrayed themselves. Like she's got, I pulled them up. They have a new EP coming out, 5 brand new singles available, and they have a YouTube link. So I'll put it up on our page.
Yeah, plug them on the
check them
Facebook page.
But she's got she's dyed pink hair, and then you got the drummer's got long hair, and then the bass and the guitar is just kind of, normal looking people, not they were a good band. I just really wish that she would have had a better sound check because I wanted to hear her more. During the breaks between songs, you could hear her fine talking because there was no music behind her.
Right.
Now the funny thing about all the better, they came on after Stereo Rex, okay? And I talked about, Stereo Rex going, nobody did shit.
Right.
This chick, right? She's like, okay, here we go. You guys gonna help me out here. We're gonna do this. We're gonna help Cole out. Cole's the drummer. We're gonna do this. Everybody get ready. Ready? Here we go. 1, 2, and then they start doing it.
That's the way you do it.
And then a couple songs later, okay, I need everybody's help. Get your hand in the air. Come on. And she's just standing on stage. Get your hand in the air. She's looking around over there. Get your hand. There you go. There you go. There you go. All right, here we go. And then later,
and that's such a gift.
It is a gift, and it's.
I couldn't go out there and I admired watching you do it night after night. I did. Yeah. I was like, thank God I don't have to do that because that's not my gig, right?
Well, the trick is, okay, and this is what I try to explain.
You always got me into it too. Scott always said the same thing. Like the band was into it as much as the fucking crowd was because you just had that magnetic energy, man.
Well, and the thing, I think the biggest problem that people have on stage, singers, when they're first starting out, is they think everybody's looking at them. Well, they are, but if
that's
you look,
the idea.
But if you look over them,
right,
then there's not that weirdness going on because you're not all you're seeing is the top of their head. I would never directly look at anybody in the crowd unless I knew somebody, I knew where they were standing.
Yeah,
But I would always look over. I would look at the top of it, kind of like the sales trick. You look at the eye. Look at my forehead when you talk to me.
Well, and you made a very good point. If you're playing at the Mason Jar, you could see all the way to the back. But if we were playing at a bigger venue, you could only see the first couple rows anyway. So you're
right.
You're only really interacting with those first 2 rows.
Right, but at the same time, you don't really see that much because every stage we were ever on, where are the lights? right in front of me,
Right? Yeah. Oh yeah.
right there.
And you always have a spotlight on you, or two.
So
or
right,
three.
so right, so
Yeah.
it was hard. It was hard. So that's why sometimes I wear sunglasses on stage because I wanted to see the crowd. But then I learned that was a bad thing to do because when I'm looking straight and the crowd's looking at me, if I have sunglasses on, they can't see my eyes. So they're not engaging in me. So that's why I stopped wearing sunglasses on stage. But this chick was good. They had the crowd going. Their set was a little too long, just for the fact that you could tell by the sixth, the middle of the fifth to the sixth song. I think they did 6 songs. The crowd was kind of like, okay, whatever, stop it now. But that's just because their stuff sounded the same. Because again, they didn't sound check it properly, and I truly wish that she would have sound checked because I really wanted to hear what she sounded like because it's been a fucking long ass time since I've seen a chick sing live.
That's any good.
Yeah, that's any good. And they're like, they don't, okay, what do they have? They don't have any shows. They don't have any shows coming up. That sucks, according to their website. So yeah, January 4th, they played at Marquee Theater. December 5th, they played the Rebel Lounge. Looks like they play once a month. They had two shows in August. They played Crescent Ballroom. Pepsi Amphitheater in Flagstaff.
Geez, 2 a week would have been a slow week for us.
Right. Oh, they played the Marquee. They just played the Marquee January 6th. Okay. Oh, January 4th they played the Marquee. That's cool. They played the Marquee twice. Yeah,
Nice.
so they had what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, maybe 15 shows they played last year.
Yeah, and those are all good venues. So
Yeah. Obviously they've been opening up and stuff. Their album cover kind of looks like remember the Red Hot Chili Peppers? What was it? Sex Magic.
Blood Sugar Sex Magic.
Yes.
Yeah.
How they had like the weird stuff in the middle and then around
Yeah.
it. So you have their
Great
hands,
album cover.
Yeah, hands with a rose on it with the single "I Will Be There, I'll Be Here." I mean, so yeah, I'll share their stuff. They were good there, and I thought about it when we were coming home. I'm like, I'm gonna bring this up on the podcast.
Absolutely, man. That's awesome. Anytime
Really
you see a
cool.
good band, we definitely want to promote people who are up and coming.
Yeah. So for boys and girls at home, we just talked about a band called All the Better. They have a website called allthebetterband.com. They were formed in 2023 in the sunny state of Arizona. They began as a high school side project that morphed into a supporting national touring acts in the very first few months of conception.
That's crazy.
Influenced by predecessors such as Paramore, Mannequin, and many more, they released their very first single in July of 2023, shortly after going viral online for the first time. I'll have to check that out. Mel Graff is the vocalist. She's 18. Jacob Newpoff is a guitarist, 18 years old. They founded the band roping in Emma Lesbowski, previous bassist, and Cole Sinclair, drums, to join them. There's the punk thing. Their diverse sound, energetic punk performances, metal techniques and instrumentals, and a bratty emo punk vocalist. I can see that now.
And what that means, ladies and gentlemen, in layman's terms and plain English, is that one of the band members likes punk, the other likes emo music,
Yep.
the other likes heavy metal, and the other's probably like Rick and just wants to have a good time.
Yep.
You know, he would have played anything you laid down in front of him. He just wanted to be in the band, which is great.
Yeah. So allthebetterband.com. You can go to their site. You can read about page. You can see their live shows, what they're coming up. They have links to their Instagram and Facebook. You can listen to their new single, "I'll Be Here," and then they have some live videos. 1, 2, 3 live videos. Looks like the same venue. They just maybe did, which is cool. Kind of looks like, you remember Hollywood Alley? The stage looks kind of like Hollywood Alley, just small, intimate.
Oh, yeah. I will never forget Ross from Hollywood Alley.
Right.
Oh, Roth.
Roth.
Not that there's anything wrong with that, but man, Ross was a weird motherfucker.
Yep. They're on Amazon. They're on Apple Music. So what was the song that went viral? I'm curious now. It doesn't say they released. It didn't say the song.
Maybe they went viral on TikTok or something.
Yeah, probably. It's hard to go viral on YouTube. But TikTok, I have about like 223,000 views of that asshole driving through the.
That thing's still going?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
223,000 views. All the better
What's that get you? Just recognition?
Nothing, not a damn thing. Well, it's opened up things on TikTok, which I'm sure Tony's going to be super excited about.
He's sitting there taking notes, I guarantee you.
I know. You fucker. You just wait, Chris. I'm going to fuck you up, man.
We're going to get him on a podcast one way or another. We'll just keep talking about TikTok until he comes on and tells us to shut up.
Okay, so here's their YouTube. I found their YouTube page, okay? So 628 subscribers, 625 views, 2,900 views. But reason why that one probably has 2,900 views is that the singer, I don't know if the singer or not, somebody's in a towel with this part of their body showing in a towel over their head. So I'm assuming it's a singer. Anytime there's,
oh yeah,
skin, you're going to get viewers. 591 for Dying for You live, 671 for all the better behind the scenes stuff. Yeah, so I don't see anything viral.
Well,
400. No, I know, but I'm just
something
saying,
something happened somewhere because they landed
Yeah.
national acts.
Well, if they landed national acts like we did, though, you know what I mean?
Well, we had to do it the old-fashioned way by going out and fucking playing at every pizza joint and Chinese restaurant until we got a real gig somewhere, It was a different world back then, for sure.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I'm going to guess that they put something on TikTok being as young as they are, and it went fucking crazy.
Possibly.
Because you just proved that's where all the kids are. My niece told me the same thing.
Yeah, like they have a thing from 6 months ago. It's a 30K celebration pool party, but it only had 1,000 views. So it must be TikTok relevance or something because they're not.
Yeah, she said they use TikTok and barely Instagram, and that's teenager talk. And you got to be able, you're a parent. You got to be able to decipher that. We use.
Oh, dude, that shit wasn't around when I was a parent, man.
Just the talk.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that's how she said it. We use TikTok and barely Instagram. So that means they still use Instagram, but barely.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and I don't know because
I always poll the youth. If I want to know where things are going and headed, it's like, hey, what can we do to promote the podcast? And that was her answer.
Gotcha.
Are you on TikTok? I was like, no. She said, that's where everybody's at.
Yeah,
I know it sucks. It's run by the Chinese government, but you got to do what you got to do when you're trying to, get ahead.
Yeah. I want. It says 30,000 views. I really want to know where the 30K is because I don't see it. But I just subscribed to him on our YouTube channel, so we can check him out. And so there's a little plug for a local band.
Well, and on YouTube they add up all your shorts and stuff too. So, but you looked at all their videos, right?
I just scrolled through them. I didn't, but yeah, nothing was. The most I saw was 3,000 on one. So I never subscribed to the idea. Let's add all our views together on my videos. I just know that I mean, whatever. It is what it is. I ain't mad at them. Do what you got to do, man.
We're all just trying to get ahead.
Yeah. Yeah. Kramer, when he shows up at that job, right, and he has no business working, I don't even know what I'm doing here. It's like you haven't. I'm looking at your work, Kramer, and it's like you have no idea what you're doing. Like, what is this? Well, I'm just trying to get ahead.
I was just trying to get ahead. And then he tries to fire him, and Kramer says, "But I don't really work here." And the guy's like, "That's what makes this so difficult."
Right? When he opened this briefcase and he has a roll of Ritz crackers, right? And then fucking he comes home that one night and Jerry's all pissed off because I made dinner.
He throws.
Where were you?
What's that? Well, it was dinner.
It was in the sink.
We never talk anymore.
It's like, let's go to a movie, just us. Really? Can we?
I like when he says, it's my busy time of year, and Jerry's like, you just started 3 days ago.
That show is funny just because of the characters in the show.
Yes.
Seinfeld,
1,000,000%. That's the charm.
Yeah. Seinfeld
anytime I need to just make my day better, man, that's the first show I go to every time.
Yeah, see, I go to The Office. But that's the same thing. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's just that's that you turn the brain off and just fucking laugh at stupid shit is what it is. So boys and girls, if you want to turn your brain off and laugh at stupid shit, the Peacock has The Office and it has Superfan episodes, so it has the elongated stuff that's not. It's not the TV friendly version. The TV friendly versions are 21 minutes. The Superfan episodes are like 40 for The Office. Seinfeld's on Netflix.
Yep.
I think, and then of course reruns and shit. But
who can watch commercials?
yeah, fuck. It's so hard to watch commercials now, man, because everything's just.
And you just said something that I wanted to bring up just as a FYI for people. Now that everybody's streaming, if you look, like Chris just said, 21 minutes, that tells you that in the old days, and if you're still watching what people call terrestrial television, you're being inundated with 19 minutes every half hour.
Yep.
Or 9 minutes, excuse me. 9 minutes of your every half hour is interrupted by bullshit. And it's bad enough to try to watch a show like that with commercials, but have you ever tried to watch like The Walking Dead or something that you're really into and all of a sudden a fucking Nissan commercial comes on? It's like, hey, wait a minute.
Fucking irritating.
Rick was about to get fucking killed or not killed or now I got to wait 2.5 minutes or 4.5 minutes.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I don't know how people do it.
It is crazy. So we talked about Silo, that show Silo?
I've been going to watch that for a long time. Okay. It's in my list. I have
cool.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, watch it. It's cool. We've caught up. And it's live, like where we're at now, so we have to wait every week. We've caught up to it. So that's a good show.
Okay. Do you have Max?
I do.
Have you ever watched Banshee?
No. Is it good?
Yeah, so they give you recommendations, right? So last night I was out of shit to watch.
Right.
And it was in my recommendations. It was from like 2013. I can't believe I missed this show. I only saw the first episode, but the premise of it is this guy takes over as sheriff of this town.
Okay.
He gets released from prison.
Right on.
He goes to this town. There's a big bar fight. The new sheriff is in the bar. He just got into town. Nobody knows him.
Right.
Everybody but the owner and this dude gets killed. Oh. And this dude decides that because the person he went to prison for lives in this town and he's super interested in why, how they're there and where the money or the diamonds went.
Yeah.
So he wants his money. It's like $10 million. Okay. So he assumes the sheriff's identity. This is all in the first hour-long episode.
Okay.
It's good premise, and I didn't recognize anybody in there. That's the fascinating part is they make these shows now, and I didn't know anybody in there, and it was all superb acting, every bit of it. Oh, I knew the black guy that was the bartender. I've seen him. I can't think of his real name, but he was the only one I recognized because he's a really good character actor.
Okay.
I think you'd really enjoy it. Nikki probably would too. It's action, suspense.
Okay. She likes the crime stuff. She's like she loved Criminal Minds. She wouldn't.
Oh yeah, that's a great show.
Yeah, it was great until he started writing stupid shit, man. And then what irritated me?
Well,
about
it goes
Minds,
too long for a while. I gave up at season 8 or 9.
Yeah. What irritates me about Criminal Minds is they always got the bad guy always got away. It always they would attack the house, right? All the SUVs, in front, and the dude would get away. Like how the fuck? Like you're that inept. Every week he gets away in the middle of the show, and at the end of the show you catch him.
Like in the real world, you'd all be fired.
Right. It's that shit drives me nuts. Like your whole job as a cop is to catch a bad guy. Fucking catch the bad guy, even if you're on TV. Well, this thing's frustrating. What are the other thing? Oh, the other show we watched that we're watching right now is Before. Have you heard that one?
No. What's that on?
I think it's Apple TV. It's motherfucker Billy Crystal.
Okay. It's
really
called Before.
Before Before.
All right.
It's hard to explain what it's about, but it's very engaging. I'm not going to talk anymore about it because I don't want to spoil it. But that's a really good show. Before is a good show. Silo's a good show.
The premise of Silo really interests me.
That is a trip, dude. It is really interesting.
Okay.
It's
I'll start watching it.
Severance is on Apple TV.
That was I did watch that one.
Okay, that's still going on, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we're still we haven't caught up. We have one more episode, then we're caught up. But blew my mind with that. The director's Ben Stiller.
That's what made me watch it.
Right?
See, when I research stuff, I'm always looking at the backstory. It's like, who's involved in this?
Yeah.
Banshee, that was a wing and a prayer because I didn't recognize anybody. But normally, like you said, what made me watch that was I'm like, I love Ben Stiller. If he's involved in it, I probably will like it.
Well, and what struck me with that is that it's not really funny.
No.
Which is kind of, and Ben Stiller, historically, you look at all his movies he's made, he historically does comedies.
Hilarious, yeah.
There's a little drama in that shit, but for the most part, it's comedy. So it's interesting that somebody who you can put in that box, because we can put him in that box.
Sure.
But he does this is a drama, and it's a good fucking show too. It's trippy. It's the more you watch it, the more engaged you get, and it's like, oh fuck. And then
that's what I got out of it too, is it kept me coming back for more. And those are the shows that I really like. It, when an episode ends and you're like, oh shit, I got to know what happens next.
Yeah, yeah.
What that's telling you is that's excellent writing. Obviously,
very much so.
Got to be excellent acting, or you wouldn't watch. But
right.
If there's no story to back it up, there's no reason to watch. So I love those where every episode is like, damn man, left me at a cliffhanger again.
Right. No, agreed. That's I was trying to think of anything else we were toying around with, but I don't think so.
You guys watched Landman, right?
We haven't watched Landman yet because we don't have Paramount. I'm not going to fucking subscribe to Paramount just to watch Landman.
Oh, I'll set you up an account. You can use mine.
Okay.
Did I just say that live on the podcast?
You did. Cause,
when I come out to visit you, we'll watch Landman on my account at your house.
Right on, because I have Max, I have Netflix, Max.
I just had to rephrase that so it was legal.
Right. Let's see. So Apple TV, Amazon Prime, Netflix, Max, Peacock, and YouTube TV. And because I have YouTube TV, I got YouTube Music and I got YouTube Kids, which is for little man. But Max and HBO are the same because we always had HBO and then HBO Max combined. So now Max has all that shit. Right.
I'll set you up an account on Paramount and I'll send you.
When you come to town.
Yes. And then,
when you come to town.
Yeah, because I want to watch it while I'm at your house. Yeah.
Yes.
So if Chris is logged on to Paramount in Arizona,
it's because
Mike's sitting there watching it with him. Absolutely.
And we'll take a selfie. Hey, just like that.
I keep forgetting we're talking to the world.
Well, stop the world. I want to get off.
Oh. Actually, they've never even had a position one way or the other. My mom and dad have used mine. And I don't know if you know this, but YouTube TV practically tells you to give it to 5 of your friends.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, because I tried to give it to Jake when he was in Japan. And true story, Japan doesn't allow American YouTube.
Really?
Yeah.
There you go. Interesting fact.
Yep. Like he can't gamble. He can't do the apps, the gambling football, because he'd like you bet on football and shit.
Yeah.
It won't work. It can't do it. One of the apps that he has, he can't do it here. And he can't do it in California. He couldn't do it in Japan, which is weird.
So sports betting is not legal in California?
I don't, maybe the app that he's using, I guess not. I don't know. I just thought it was weird.
Well, it's not legal in every state. And it wouldn't surprise me if California is not legal because they have, like, the Commerce Casino is a huge casino in Los Angeles. They have some pretty big casinos that, especially if they're union, they would frown upon sports betting.
Yeah, I don't know. If you're going to legalize it, fucking legalize it. It's like it was the whole reason why Vegas was never supposed to have any sports teams, right? Because they were afraid if Vegas had professional sports teams,
the fix would be in.
Corruption would follow.
Yes.
Right. And the true to form, what you mentioned before back in the day, meaning, one of our past shows, Jordan, the GOAT.
Absolutely.
And fuck all of you if you don't want to agree with that. Because he is the GOAT. I don't care who you are. Maybe Bill Russell may be a little bit more goatish than him, but still,
I don't know. Even Steele, who goes all the way back to like Pete Maravich, which is one of his favorite players as a shooter, would tell you that Jordan changed the game so much that he is the GOAT.
Yeah, well, okay, I'll give him that. Yeah, I mean,
I don't know if I'm pretty sure him and I have had this conversation. I think he agrees with that, and he goes all the way back to some of the greatest players. You just mentioned one of them, Bill Russell.
Yeah.
Kareem.
Well, it's kind of like, it's kind of, Kareem. And it's like with football, Lawrence Taylor changed the way defenses
that
were
means
schemed.
something. Yes.
Right. When you change the way a game is played.
Eddie Van Halen redefined the way guitar was played. Jimi Hendrix redefined the way guitar was played. Those people are special. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Speaking of Eddie Van Halen, that kid Jake on All the Better did the tap. Like straight up, he was jamming out. He stood up on the monitor like I used to do, right? He's facing the crowd with his guitar, and he's jamming and he's tapping. Eddie Van Halen's tapping.
That's why Jake can't bet in California. As of now, traditional online sports betting is not legal in the state. Voters themselves rejected 2 major initiatives.
Fucking California.
Proposition 26 and 27 in 2022, which means the earliest chance for statewide legalization of online sports betting could be around 2026 or 2028. Them poor fuckers.
Well, and the crazy thing is California is fucking, they lose money. What a better way to create revenue, man.
Well, some people are just fucking stupid.
Stupid, yeah. Can't fix stupid, you know.
What's it hurting? You're not forcing anybody to gamble. I agree with you. If it's legal one place, it should be legal everywhere.
Yeah.
It goes back to what I've said 100 times on this show. We're all grown adults. As long as you're not hurting somebody else.
Yes.
What the fuck do I care what you do with your day? What do you care what I do with my day as long as it's not affecting you?
Yeah. Agreed.
I mean, I'll throw that caveat in there. You can't just say it's a fucking free-for-all because you can't go out and just start hurting people. But these stupid laws where one adult tells another adult what they can and can't do because this is how I feel. These are my morals. These are my values. So now you have to adhere to those.
Right.
Well, who the fuck are you?
Yeah.
Obviously nobody I care about because we don't agree.
Yeah. So, okay, there it is. I went to TikTok. They have 29,700 followers on All the Better Bands TikTok, and they have 1.3 million likes.
Yeah, there you have it. See?
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah. Wow, fuck me. 2.1 million one of their jams. 2.1 million. And everything else hovers, less than 5,000. They had a couple things at 11,000, 12,000, 18,000. But the 2.1 million, that's fucking impressive, man. That's legit.
And it's crazy how those things happen because just like with your video, you can't plan these things. They just take off. Kind of like the fuck ton video did,
Mm-hmm. Right.
We didn't plan that.
No. That's cool. Good for them, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially because they're so young and really they own the stage. Like she put the singer of Stereo Rex to shame. Like and then when we were leaving, I walked by him. He came up to about here on me, and I'm like, oh, that explains a lot.
Well,
guy.
I like to hear those stories too, of bands that they got the look, they're kind of getting their sound. I mean, they're young, they'll get there.
Uh-huh.
But the fact that they go up there and have fun, that's what so many bands miss out on is they get nerves, or stage fright or whatever the fuck you want to call it. But mostly it's just nerves where you go up there and you're like a statue.
Yeah.
I'm very thankful that some of the people that I chose to let mentor me or, model my music career after until I had enough shows under my belt to make my own decisions.
Right.
One of the best pieces of advice I got was go up there and fucking act like you've been there before, man.
Yeah.
Own it,
Yeah.
You don't realize how stupid you look if you never move. That was the best advice right there. You don't realize how stupid you look if you don't ever move.
That's why some bands I could never get into, like Mustaine. I've always heard Mustaine just stands there.
Well,
he
he's
just
the
stands
singer.
there.
And he's got to play guitar.
I don't care. He still just stands there.
You don't want him to wear one of them headset microphones.
No, I don't. But there's other ones that
that's a bad example. He's the singer.
Yeah, true.
He just happens to be one of the baddest fucking rhythm guitar players on the planet. So nobody else can do that for him.
That's true. Oh, there it is. I was wondering. I logged into our
Give me
Facebook.
another example.
I'm thinking.
That one, we can't use that one.
Well, George Strait just fucking stands there.
Yeah, he's George Strait. You get some passes when you're the goat of country music.
But see, I don't get why he's the GOAT, because I've listened to his shit because Nikki likes him. So
I like George Strait.
and I like some of his stuff.
Goddamn Greg Martin. If you ever listen to this podcast, get a hold of me, you motherfucker. That's why I like George Strait. He played it so much when we were at work at Color Masters, when I was working at the graphic arts place downtown there in Phoenix.
Yeah.
That's all he listened to all night long when we were working the overnight shift. And eventually I got it, not every song, but some of the, more timeless songs are definitely that old school. I think he was the best of the old school country, is why he gets to be the GOAT.
I could. Okay. I'll give you that.
After him, country music became an abortion to the point where I don't know what the fuck it is today. It doesn't even know what it is. It wants to be rap or emo or electronic and if you throw a twang in there, now it's country,
Right.
That's
right.
what it is today.
Yeah.
I think he gets a pass for being, you could argue it's Garth Brooks.
But see, I don't think Garth Brooks is a pop rock country singer.
Agreed. That's why I'm not saying
right.
I'm at George Strait.
Yeah. I can.
Now,
I'll give you that as far as old school traditional country western, which is what it was, country western.
Yeah.
Then George.
Oh
Strait's
yeah, you
the
got to
king.
have one of those in your life. Chris has a back scratcher for those of you who are listening and not watching, but yes. Very dear friend gave me that as a Christmas gift one year, and I went to open it.
Yeah.
And they were like, it's not much.
No.
If you're listening to this podcast right now, that is still one of the best Christmas gifts I have ever received in my life, because when you live alone, there's a couple spots you can't reach, right?
Right. And
when they itch, it's a motherfucker.
That's right, man. That is right. So here's a little fun neighborhood.
I'm glad that came up, because I just had to do that the other night, and I'm like,
Right on.
she always said that this wasn't much of a Christmas gift, but I'm still using it.
Right on. Okay, so we've talked about my neighborhood before, right? So
Oh yeah,
across the street, the Crazy Cat Ladies,
Bobby loves the story about your neighbors, by the way. So
Okay, right on. Hey, Bobby.
she'll be interested.
So the Crazy Cat Ladies live across the street. So I'm doing my yard work today because tomorrow I got shit to do, and then Thursday my irrigation comes. Tomorrow's supposed to rain. So I'm going I have 211 feet in frontage. Okay, so people don't know I live on an acre and I have 211 feet.
Only you would know that.
On the frontage. Okay, well it's because we had to put fencing and shit up.
Oh, okay.
So when I go out the RV gate, which is access to the playground that we built for Little Man and Trip, then I walk towards the front of the house where the grass is. Well, in doing so, I walk basically in front of the Crazy Cat Ladies' houses. The one, Linda, that's just, Little Man thinks she's a dude. That tells you everything you need to know about her. They have a cab on their pickup truck. Okay, so the shell. I'm sorry, it's a shell truck, but you know what I'm talking about. You put it on the back of the pickup shell.
Yeah,
that's what you call it? Okay.
Yep.
So the top's open and the tailgate's down. So I'm going by. First, I have my hurricane leaf blower because I enjoy making their black car dirty. So I blow all because it's not my fucking shit in my driveway, man. My driveway is all their leaves, so I give it back to them. It's fair. Like,
I'm with you, man.
Those are
I don't
leaves.
own a tree either, but I'm out there.
Oh, I own all kinds of fucking trees. I have like 30 trees, but my trees don't drop leaves like their trees do. Okay. And the trees that I have that drop leaves are in my fucking
You're
backyard.
preaching to the choir is where I'm.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And my trees in the backyard, my leaves stay in the backyard. So I'm leaf blowing, creating a nice little wall of dust.
Because you antisocial people out there have fences. A lot of people don't know that. Ladies and gentlemen, they have fences in Phoenix.
We do have fences.
We don't want to know our neighbors.
We don't. Yeah. Well, we had chain link fence all around us, and then we realized
that was the weirdest thing for me to try and get used to, man. It's
I know.
It is weird.
Yeah, Illinois, my grandmother's house, no fence.
No, I know you know.
Yeah,
but a lot of people don't know that. If you've never lived in different parts of the country, that was really odd to me. I'm like, I guess nobody fucking likes anybody around here.
Yeah. So I'm walking past the Crazy Cat Lady's house a couple times. About the third time, I think. Now I think I'm on my tractor. I had to use my zero turn because my John Deere, I didn't realize my John Deere had a flat, and I drove it all the way out to the back of the main house, and I'm like, why is this fucking running so weird? And I looked, fuck me. So I got to figure out how to fucking fix a tire now. And because it's a tubeless one, so I don't know how the fuck it came off.
YouTube it.
Huh?
YouTube it. I'm sure they'll show you.
I did, and I'm like, fuck, I can't do that. And the YouTube video, shit you not. This dude, he didn't have two hands. It's the dude that was doing this instructional video. It's like he cut he just cut his wrist off. It's what it looks like. But he didn't. But it just looked like somebody cut his wrist off, sewed it together, sealed it tight because he just had, I don't want to say stump, but I don't know how to explain it. Motherfucker was changing the tire, like giving the instructional video.
And he only had one hand?
Yeah, and I'm like, fuck you, dude. Like, I can't do that shit. I got two hands. You're tearing this shit apart with one hand. Like, you talk about feeling inept.
I would have been thinking the same thing. Look at this fucking guy. He's only got one hand.
Like, it's so emasculating. Like, oh, well, man, I'm going to learn how to change a tire. Fucking pull the video up because I have no idea how to do this shit because it's got to blow up somewhere in the thing. And, like, all this grease came out of it. I'm like, what the fuck?
That's where you need to adopt one of my new favorite quotes. Everybody has different skill sets. That's why we all make this world sing, right?
Exactly. Yeah, so I'm on the zero turn now. And so I'm cruising, down the street and I turn and look. So I'm facing north, so I'm doing it wrong here, but I turn and look as I'm driving by. I'm like, what the fuck is in the back of her truck? So I do one side, and I don't have to go to the dumpster to dump the grass, but I do it on purpose. So I turn around and I'm going back. So I kind of slow down and kind of do one of these. Shit you not, dude, in the back of her truck. I swore I thought it was Trish, her roommate, because Trish owns the house, Linda, whatever, freeloader. So the passenger side of the truck bed, you see an ass, okay? You see two legs and 2 feet facing down, okay? So I drive by, I'm like, what the fuck I'm thinking Linda's in the truck bed doing something. So then I drive back again. I'm like, still fucking there. Then I see Linda in her pasture. I'm like, what the fuck? So I'm done with the front yard. So I go back and I look at it again. It's a fucking mannequin. She's got the bottom half of a fucking mannequin in the back of her truck.
Is this for the HOV lane?
I have no idea, but it's only the bottom half. So, now, and I've seen male mannequins. They're not anatomically correct. So Obviously she's not using the mannequin to pleasure herself.
No.
But it's lodged in the back of her truck, so much so that I wanted to take a picture of it. So then I went back. I parked at zero turn because I was done. I went and got my phone and put my leaf blower back on.
That's fucking weird.
Yeah, and then she shut it. I'm like, motherfucker, she shut it. Because I would really want to take a picture of that and be like, what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah, I want to see that now.
Mannequin in the back of the truck bed, dude. Weirdest fucking thing. So
you got some fucking whack jobs living around you, man.
Now, remember one of Dahmer's triggers, right?
Okay.
Dahmer had a mannequin, and his grandmother freaked out because he was sleeping with a mannequin. Dahmer was in control until Grandma got pissed off and made him throw the mannequin away. That triggered Dahmer, and he went down a dark path and never looked back.
That is a true story. I forgot about that part of it.
Because really, I don't think he had killed anybody yet. I think he was diddling the boys. He's doing his gay thing. He wasn't eating people yet, as far as consuming flesh. But yeah. So when Grandma found the mannequin, and he stole the mannequin from a department store, like it was weird. But that was his thing. Like I remember him talking about it and how that was putting his. He was lonely and he was unloved, and that was, for whatever fucked up reason, that made Dahmer feel whole. So,
that guy I told you about last week, that was part of that
the Ripper
gang, yeah. He's living in the same place in Peoria where they found some of their victims. That was the part of the story. It was on the next page. I hadn't flipped over yet. I saw that after we did the podcast last week. Yeah. It said he's living in a shelter in downtown Peoria near Big Al's, which is a famous strip club, and behind the bars where the crew found their victims before. So he's literally living in the same spot where they picked their victims up before.
So he's not in prison, and the other ones are?
He's the one that turned all of them in.
Oh, good for him.
So he originally got a life sentence. That was commuted to 70 years
Okay.
And the math doesn't add up, so he must have got out for good behavior, is all I can figure out.
Yeah, or overcrowding. Or maybe he had a lot of marijuana things and Obama let him out, you know. Serial killer, plus he had a bag of marijuana. Oh,
No,
he
my
raped that
guess
chick, but he
is...
had a marijuana, you know.
My guess is we let the fucking murderer, rapist person that ate people out of prison and kept somebody that was a drug dealer in. Because that's how we roll as a society, because we're a bunch of dumb fucks.
Yeah, yeah. I can see that. Yeah, so
I'm sure somebody's still sitting in there for marijuana possession, because Obama only commuted the federal ones, and there were none. So, yeah, that was all smoke and mirrors.
Well,
so
you know.
When people tell that story, they're like, yeah, Obama commuted all the marijuana sentences federally.
Oh.
And
Yeah.
Then if you look it up, there was none. So he didn't really do anything.
Well, he didn't do anything either except Obamacare, and that fucked us over.
Save the auto industry.
He did. Yeah, I'll give him that. He did do something. He did do something.
Oh,
yep.
And there's another one
that
a lot of people don't know. He made it so your gift cards don't expire.
Oh, Obama? Oh, what a legacy.
He's responsible for that.
He's also responsible for the burner phones, the Obama phones.
You know what made me think of that?
What?
I had to spend a gift card that had been laying in my drawer for like 3 years, and when I spent it, I'm like, thanks, Obama, these used to expire.
Yeah, right on. Yeah, yeah. Good old Obama.
He's a good public speaker. I will give him that.
Well, no, that's why he got elected, because he had the charisma, man. He had that. He knows how to speak. I'm listening to this book called The Puppet Master. Okay, and I'm doing an audiobook. It's all about learning persuasion and stuff like that. So the first story and his name's Tom Walker.
Okay.
The first story that he shared in the book, he's at his sister's house, and their little boy loves white rice. Like, that's his shit. Like, that's his jam. Morning, noon, or night, white rice. Can't get him to eat vegetables to save his life. So he's trying everything to get this little kid to eat the broccoli, like all different kinds of reasons, you know, this, that, whatever you can think of. He's trying to convince this kid you got to eat broccoli. Kid's just like, fuck off, man. It ain't happening. I got my white rice. Go to hell. Okay. Then they're running around, him and his brother, and his brother's beating him because his brother's older, so he's longer legs, so he's faster. Like with Trip and Anthony. Anthony can bolt to me, no problem. Trip will start running. He'll crash and burn because, you know, he's little. So the author, Tom, figures out the why, because everybody has to have a why. When you're trying to persuade anything in life, you know, you got to find the why. So like when I sell houses, you know, what are you looking for? They tell me what they're looking for. I know what they want from a structure standpoint, and then I start going down that path. Okay. So I understand their why, and I understand their desires and things like that. So my job is to facilitate that and help them out. So he learned in watching the two kids that I forget the kid's name, the youngest one, but he wanted to beat his brother. And so he's like, you know, pulls out the perfect piece of broccoli. If you eat this broccoli, it's going to make you faster. Oh. And you're going to beat your brother. So that kid realized something went off in his brain. Oh, shit, I'm going to beat. Okay, so Trip wants to beat Anthony. Trip, you got to eat the broccoli. So
it's like the greyhound and the rabbit.
Yes. So
right?
Trip eats the broccoli. They start their little fuck around thing. And the older brother, Anthony, in this scenario, doesn't go to his fullest extent of speed and lets Trip win.
That's awesome.
Because then they understood we're doing this because Trip needs to eat the vegetables.
That is awesome.
So that's kind of an insight into the whole persuasion conversation. And it's kind of like you go back to the guy, The Wolf on Wall Street. I saw a clip the other day.
What's this book called again?
I'll send you. I think the Puppet Master.
Yeah. Okay. I get free audiobooks from Spotify because I'm a member. So.
Okay. The Puppet Master, the Puppet Master's Bible.
All right.
The Puppet Master's Bible. It's 13 hours. I got 11 hours and 30 minutes left.
I work 10 hours a day. I could be 3 hours short.
There you go. So
sweet. I got
yeah.
it.
So the squirrel moment there. So I saw this thing with The Wolf on Wall Street. The dude that, you know, Leo, the movie that Leo, the DiCaprio played the dude Wolf on Wall Street, so he was being interviewed, and somebody in the crowd said, "Sell me this pen," which is one of the famous scenes in Wolf on Wall Street. Well,
Absolutely.
What people don't understand about selling you the pen, okay? If you're not a salesman, you're like, "Oh, this is a beautiful pen. It writes so spectacular. I can write it like this. It writes upside down. It goes sideways. It's inexpensive. It's black. It clicks. You want this pen. This pen is calling you." Well, fuck you. You're not going to buy the pen from me.
No.
Like, what the fuck?
You're
so
cheating.
but the concept is, okay, Mike, I know you need a pen to write with. So what do you look for in a pen, man?
Yeah.
And you would tell me. And it's okay, well, when you buy a pen, do you just buy one or you do buy a pack of 12? Well, I just buy the one because I have this certain brand. Okay, so if I could find that one, but say a 3-pack, then you wouldn't have to worry about buying a pen for 6 months? You'd be super happy, right? Yeah, I'd be really happy. Okay, cool. So then I know you're going to buy 3 pens from me now because I'm going to find the pen that you love in a pack of 3. I'm going to sell it to you because you just convinced me. That's why you love that pen, because it writes the way it writes. It does what you want it to do. You like how it feels in your hand. Whatever you told me, now I understand the type of pen I got to find you.
I did the same thing when I was selling guitars. I would walk up to somebody like you, and just like you do when you're, trying to make a engagement with yeah. So I'd walk up and just say, "Hey, man, what kind of music you into?"
Yeah, exactly.
Not what guitar are you looking at?
Right.
What are you looking? It's like, hey, what are you into? Because then I knew, hey, this guy's into country music. He probably wants a Gretsch or a Guild, or, hey, this guy's a metalhead. He definitely wants a Jackson or an Ibanez, or
right.
That was a great, and like you said, it wasn't, I could put you in this guitar today. What's it going to take to make a sale here today? Nobody's going to buy shit from that guy. You're right.
No, right. And see, that's why I left Century 21 in my 6th month and a day in real estate, because they were trying to make me say, "So, Mike, you've seen the house. What would it take to put you in this house today?"
Oh, fuck me. For real?
For real.
They wanted you to say that at the end of your sales pitch?
That was their training for Century 21, to get the gold jacket. What would it take to put you in this house today, Mike? And I was just like,
a different real estate agent.
Right, and I said it, and back then, like, this is how long I've been doing it. Okay, 25 years.
I know. I was one of your first customers.
Yes, you were. So back then, cold calling was the phone book. Like, I shit you not. I remember nights in going to the office in Gilbert, and I would it was cold call night, and there was 20 of us in there maybe. I'd open the phone book, and I'd push my hand down. I'd start making calls. Maybe 20 minutes into it, I got a call. I got a guy that answered the phone in Tempe, my old neighborhood where I grew up. Fucking went in my Sears sport coat, which fucking was probably 2 sizes too big, and black jeans and boots and a dress shirt. Had no fucking clue what I was doing. But the dude was gracious enough to let me in the house, because I'm a punk ass kid, man. I'm 25 years, so 99. So punk ass kid, like, just I didn't look. I grew a beard and I had hair because
you did that right after you left the band, right?
Yeah, because I knew I looked like a baby, and nobody's gonna buy a house from somebody who looked like a baby. But this dude let me in, and I don't remember what I said. I didn't get the listing, obviously. Never talked to the dude again. Follow up calls and shit, nothing, deaf ears. But it was that old school mentality that you have to fail to succeed, and that's one of those things that people miss out in life, that you have to fail to succeed. So kind of
they say at least 15 times.
Right. It's kind of like the band All the Better, right? 2.1 million views on something that I'm going to look at it, see what it is, and see what actually what the fucking song is or whatever the video is to get 2.1 million views, because that's insane for a band that's only not even been around a year yet. Well, 2023, February 23. So they're coming up on their 2 years together.
But they're doing
side project.
But and that's the really cool part is it started as a side project, and all of a sudden they're like, hey, we could do this, and we kind of did the same thing, man. We put the band together, and
sure, we
did it for ourselves first and foremost, right? We wrote songs we wanted to hear, and then we took them out, and we hoped that people liked them, because we were not a cover band. We didn't cut our teeth playing other people's music. We decided we were good at it right off the bat. So, and apparently we were, because our gigs got better and better. But what I was going to say is, it's cool that they're using both sides of the old school, going out and playing like we did, That's the only way you get better.
Yep.
But they're using technology to their advantage too, and being young, they know how to do that.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see when TikTok gets banned in America later this month.
That ain't gonna happen.
You never know.
They're
but
gonna figure it out.
without that though, would they have? Because the YouTube doesn't have any of those. The most I think they have YouTube. Is $4
That's
grand.
why I'm saying the same thing that my niece said. You want to reach the young people, you're not going to find them anywhere except TikTok and barely Instagram.
Yep. Tiggity talk. Yeah.
No, I think the answer to your question is 100% no. They would not be anywhere if they had not been on TikTok, because they reached 2.1 million people, which evidently either reached a booking agent, a manager, or another band.
Oh, they have. When they have, they're in their website, the entertainment group something. So they have somebody that manages them now, because that's
who found them.
Yeah.
Somebody that knew how to get them good gigs, which is awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
we eventually.
Yeah, and they weren't. The
was
band
Dave managing the band when you were in it, or did we do that later?
I don't remember. I think we did everything ourselves when I was in it.
Okay. Eventually, we hired a manager.
Yeah.
And there was some pushback to that, but we got better gigs after that. So
yeah. I Yeah. I was too much of a control freak. I wouldn't have liked that.
Well, it got too hard to book all the gigs, collect all,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I was doing all that shit.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess after you left, then I was doing everything.
Yeah, sorry. My bad.
Definitely your bad. We're making up for it now. It's all good.
We're making up for it now, exactly. So I noticed today the logo. You see that? It's not underneath our things. Is that because I fucked with shit? See it? You see the logo, right?
You didn't fuck with shit. You went in there and had a good time, and you made some stuff. And if you want to get... So that logo is not really there. They got some ghosts in the machine. Their shit does not work ideally yet. So when you put something in a spot, it fucking stays there for everything you make going forward. If you want to do away with it, go into that brand and go under logo and just click it off.
I don't
Not right now, you can't. But when you're editing stuff, if you don't want that in a certain position, just go to the brand button and you can get rid of it.
Yeah, no, I liked it. I liked what I did. I
liked what you did too.
Yeah, and then so boys and girls that are on our YouTube, I have some shorts dropping every day for the next 7 days. So
check it out.
And they're quick ones. They're 30 seconds and less. I have stuff going on my Instagram business page that's 15 seconds and less, just to see. I actually had one that had I had, what was it? It was a real estate thing. It was about competitive, how the market's competitive, I had 90, what was it? 96% completion. Okay. It's 15 seconds long, America. Attention span. 15 seconds. You could only get to the 94%.
You can't bring that up enough for me.
You could only get to like 13.8 seconds of a 15-second video, and you moved along.
And this is, and I know you're not an everyday smoker, but this is why people need marijuana in their lives, because I can get lost in a fucking rabbit hole and learn a whole new subject before that buzz ends. You know what I'm saying? If I'm sitting there, and that's what I'll be doing, start reading something, all of a sudden, oh, fuck, I got to know more about that. And then you research more about it, and it's like, holy shit, 2 hours just went by.
Yeah, it's mind-blowing.
That's why you cannot bring it up enough, because I am the polar opposite. You are the polar opposite.
Yeah, I have to. If it's something to read, it has to be really like I don't like to read, but part of it's because my eyes suck, and even with contacts, my eyes still suck. So I have that one I'm listening to, and then after that, I got this one called the Artificial Intelligence Agency.
Oh, I'm 100% an audiobook guy now. Don't. I'm not sitting there reading books anymore because I don't want to put the cheaters on. And audiobooks are so cool.
Yeah, Nikki actually will run with an audiobook. Like I don't know how you could run with a book.
I could do it.
She gets them with
accents. If that's what I was into, I could do it.
Right. I gotta have the music. I gotta have the beat. I gotta have the.
Yeah.
She'll run with a book, man.
I just worked all day listening to 2 podcasts.
Yeah, well, see, that's cool. You know, that's cool. Like that.
It helps me not think about what's in front of me. You know,
Yeah.
if it's something that I don't want to do, I would actually rather listen to somebody teach me something about a subject. Mm-hmm. You know, because it makes the time go by.
Yeah.
I get where she's coming from, and I also get where you're coming from, because I guess if I were a runner, I probably wouldn't want music too most of the time.
Yeah. It's just you know.
Get your blood pumping.
It's just the beat, man. It's the beat, because like when before I hurt myself, right, and I was in the epitome of running shape, and you know, going for the 1 hour 45-minute half marathon. I actually created a playlist. I sat down at my desk and I looked through my songs, and I created a playlist so I knew every mile where I was at by the music.
That's awesome.
And I knew at the 12.5 mile mark, Alter Bridge came on. The end is here, because the end was there. I had a half mile to go. Right? And then if I got to the end, and if I got to the end of it was, I think U2's God Part 2. If I got to that and I wasn't finished, it went silent. And so at the State 48 Marathon, I finished that 1 hour and 48 minutes. So the last 3 minutes, it was silence. It fucking sucked. But that's how I knew I didn't achieve my goal, right? But because the watch is the watch, right? The watch is the watch, but it never syncs up perfectly, because when it's not a straight line that you're running. So I take the corners wider. I get on the outside, inside or outside, depending on where the crowd is, and I get the fuck out of everybody's way. Give me my sides, whatever it is, and then leave me alone. Let me do my thing. It's kind of like when I drive. If I'm bottlenecked, get the fuck out of everybody's way and get ahead.
We have that in common. I'll lead the pack. I have confidence in my driving. I don't have confidence in being in the middle of all that shit.
Exactly. Because people are stupid. So I told you I drove my John Deere, right, and then the tire fell off. So nobody fucking sells John Deere tires, man. So I don't know how.
Well, how's that work?
I have no fucking idea. I went to Lowe's, Home Depot, and Shoppers Supply.
Because they all. You know what? I bet you got to go to a John Deere dealer.
It's fucking stupid. They all sell the damn things. They're all parked out in front of their store.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Scratch that.
I know.
Can't buy one on Amazon?
I can, but I just, you know, the guy that I got it from, I asked him, and he's like, well, it's not at the Home Depot. I'm like, no, dude, that's what sucks. He's like, well, maybe try Tractor Supply. I'm like, I didn't think about Tractor Supply.
That's a good idea.
My tire fell off the John Deere today. She just shrugged her shoulders because she thinks my tractor's sexy.
Even I remember that song.
Right. The tractor story.
No, there's an actual country song. She thinks my tractor's sexy.
Huh? Okay. Yeah, tractor story. Sorry, she said something. Say again.
And there's a song, old
Right.
90s country song.
I think my tractor. She thinks
my tractor.
sexy. Yeah. I was making a reference to the Seinfeld episode, The Tractor Story.
Oh, okay.
Remember that?
Yes. Oh, 100%.
My boyfriend told me I got gonorrhea from sitting on the tractor in a bikini, and he was like, no, it was syphilis, because that's when Kramer and the little dude were doing.
No. Those are 2 different episodes. You were right.
Oh, were
it
they?
was.
Okay.
Yeah, you
Okay.
said it perfect. It was gonorrhea.
Okay.
My boyfriend told me I got gonorrhea from the tractor.
Yeah, and Jerry thought it was a scar or something on her leg.
Yeah, he could never figure out what the tractor story was, and he was like,
No.
"That's the tractor story."
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny shit.
Absolutely.
There's so much activity outside my window today. I don't know why. It's because it's nice outside. People are walking.
Yeah, fuck. I don't want to hear about your nice weather.
Dude, it's fucking cold this morning, man. It was like yesterday was 44 degrees at 10 a.m. 10 a.m. 44 degrees, dude. I had to turn the heater on. I had to turn the heater on, Mike.
11.
I never turn my heater on.
I don't normally like to talk over Chris, ladies and gentlemen, but I'm going to right now because it was 11 when I woke up this morning, and this is only my second day back to work after being off for 17 days. And I hate fucking being cold until I get used to it again. You do get used to it.
Right, yeah.
It's kind of like the friend we talked about. You tolerate the cold. I don't think you get used to it. Kind of like you guys tolerate the heat in the summertime, you know?
Yeah, because it's only really 2 months of baking, and then you're done, you know? then you're preheating. You preheat, then you bake for 2 months, and then
That is true.
Then you do the oven cool down. You know,
Yes.
it still kind of fluctuates. You know, because if you open the oven door, some heat
Where
escapes.
mom's
You
like,
gotta
what do you
shut
mean
it.
you're not going to be home for 45 minutes? Okay, we'll kick her down to 250 and wait for you. Yeah.
Exactly. it's that kind of like, oh, it's gonna be hot. Oh, it's not gonna be hot. Oh, but now it's hot, and then it just fucks with you. Arizona fucked with us this year. It's like you had a week of like when we were in Alaska, it was hotter than shit, and then we came back, there was like this reprieve. We're like, oh sweet, we're done. And then a week after we got back, it's like, fuck you, we're hot again. It's like, oh, thank you.
Well, I'm thankful that the storm went way south of us. I guess St. Louis and southern Illinois got hammered. We only got like 2 or 3 inches, but
Was this recent?
yeah.
Okay.
Sunday night into Monday.
Oh,
And then it was supposed to get like bitter cold, and it did not do that. So while it was 11 degrees, it was supposed to be like -7 for a low last night. So 11 was much better.
when you say 11, I think of Phil Simms.
Well, it's hard to believe, but just like there's levels to the heat in Arizona, there's levels to the cold. Anything
I'm
above
sure.
0 is tolerable as long as the wind's not blowing. I literally don't even wear a coat.
Yeah, you've told me that before. And
Yeah.
see, tomorrow is supposed to be so cold. It's supposed to be like, 40s and like it's hovering.
I
freezing,
remember
but we're-
that part of it too, man. 40
Yeah.
degrees when I was 10 years
Yeah.
into my having moved to Arizona would sound like 20 below 0.
Yeah. Oh, it sucks because we have such warm blood.
It's thin.
And that's the thing.
Yeah,
The
your
thin
blood thins out.
It thins out because you're used to the heat, so you don't. Yeah, it's like yeah.
There's truth to that because the first winter I lived back here, I was wearing a fucking parka and a scarf and big old snowmobiling gloves, and I still got all that shit. It's in the closet.
Yeah, yeah.
And now I'm like, I don't even want to mess with the jacket, so I just put my hoodie on, and
Right.
unless I got to go stand out there, but
Right.
shit, I shoveled half the driveway in my sweatshirt yesterday.
You don't have a, you don't you why don't you use your leaf blower to blow the snow?
You know what? Yesterday it would have worked, and that's a damn good idea, Chris Dunham.
Yeah.
Where's
Yeah.
the applause button for that one?
I don't have an applause button.
God dang it,
But
he
yeah,
knows how to run
get
this
that,
shit.
Get that hurricane leaf blower, man. That would be awesome.
Just for you, buddy. Just for you. That's a stellar. And it was,
Yeah.
I was gonna say, well, it was wet, but it wasn't. It was
Yeah.
nice and fluffy. So
Yeah. So I saw this thing. I forgot what social media it was on. This guy, the wife was like, my husband just, I forget the fucking word now. Basically, he covered the stairs. Like they had like 10 flights of stairs up to their front door. Because the snow goes so high, you got to have the staircase right going to the front door so it doesn't. Right?
Sure. Yep.
He put a tarp on the stairs. So up on the landing, he had it like hooked to the railing or something, and then the entire tarp went straight down to the ground. So he goes outside. It's fucking snow. 2-3 feet of snow. He grabs the tarp. He unhooks the tarp up top, and he grabs the bottom and pulls it. Whew, and the snow goes with it. The stairs are perfectly clean.
That's genius.
Life hack. Yeah, that's what it's like. Like my husband just had a life hack for snow on the stairs. I thought so too. I'm like, that's fucking right on right there. Because I've always thought, like, you've watched Deadliest Catch before, right?
Every episode. It's the only show I
Okay.
can tell you I've 100% seen every episode.
Okay. Now, I started watching Deadliest Catch because I saw a commercial and they had eagles flying. So I legit thought it was about eagles and their prey when they fly and swoop down
Yes.
catching their prey.
I would have watched that
Deadliest
too.
Catch. So when they're in those fucking crazy ice storms and all the rails get frozen, I'm like,
And they got to beat that shit off
Right.
because it fucking overloads the boat with weight. Yeah.
so I automatically thought, well, why don't they just have stuff that goes through those pipes that heats? And so then the ice, when they're in those ice storms and shit, they have constant heat going through all those rails, so the ice doesn't stick to it.
That's genius on the surface.
Right. Well, it wouldn't be on the surface; it'd be under the surface because
No, I mean that there
Mm-hmm.
might be some underlying physics or structural, like the cold hitting the hot.
Well,
that,
it's yeah. Cold hitting the hot, but it would still melt. It would melt. It would melt. It'd be wet instead of ice. It can't be any different than running electric, like running power, electricity wires, like we.
No, I want to say it's fucking genius. I just
thank you. I know. I'm surprised nobody else thought of it. And now fucking, because like we trenched to put outlets at the base of the hop seat out front, in theory, because we wanted to put lights on the hop seat, and then Home Depot sold me these super bright lights you could see from outer space. So I left them up one night just to fuck with the crazy cat neighbor ladies. And then, we have our permanent lights we hung, say $5,000. So those are cool because we face the crazy cat lady's house. And, it's just, when you do we can do it to music. We haven't done the music yet, but I could like get,
My dad asked that question. He's like,
yeah.
I said, oh yeah.
Yeah. There's an app. There's an app for that. Like, Inner Salmon or something. Ooh, maybe do one. And then all the drumming and shit.
The orange LED that's behind me, I got an app that'll do that too, where you can put the music on and then it goes to the beat.
Very cool.
Yeah, I got 3 of those.
Very cool. All right, we're coming up on 90 minutes. I know you got to get some food and settle down for the evening.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's a great way to wrap this up.
All right.
In the 5 years of playing fantasy football, I won the championship game. Okay.
Get a real clap for that.
Here's the fucked up thing, man.
So you had to win 2 championships in a row, just for the record.
2 championships
if you didn't
in a
listen
row.
to the last episode.
Right, and then I don't get anything. I click.
What do you mean
app.
you don't get anything?
I click the app and it's like, congratulations, you won, and I watch the video, and it still has me as a record of 7-7, which I finished the season 7-7. I was 7-3, went on a 4-game slide, and then the playoffs, I beat the only undefeated team in our league. He was 14-0. 14-0 in fantasy fucking football. I beat him and knocked him to the loser bracket. Played the same guy, Team Barrios, twice, back-to-back weeks. And that's it. It's, hey, you're a champion, here you go. It's an app. The app. I had one of my Jamar Chase. He had 1 week where it's like 56 points. They went over that kind of stuff. My closest margin of victory was 133.2 to 132.9.
Damn, that's close.
Yeah, and that's it. I got a fake little trophy on the app. I'm like, this is what everybody. Like, where's my ring, man? Where's my trophy, motherfuckers? Like, come on. 5 years been playing that shit, and this is the only year I paid attention to it. And
I could take it all the way down to 13-year-old humor and say, fuck, I got my trophy in my pants. Right?
He's Chris. I'm Mike. This is Chris and Mike Show. Until next time.
I knew that fucker was going to do that. Yeah, whatever. That sucks, man.
Yeah, I know. It's all good.
I thought you were going to get like a cash prize or
I did too, something. I wouldn't give a fuck about cash, but I thought
gift to the Olive Garden, gifts,
a little trophy or something, But shout out
name
to
on the
Brent,
wall.
Yeah, shout out to Brent Hadfield for getting me involved in the fantasy football because I never.
Well, here's the
really
cool
cared
part
about it. Yeah.
You know that you can do it now, so that if you are interested in getting in a league that, like my brother is serious about it because he's been doing it since he was a teenager. Ever since fantasy football came out, he's been playing it.
Oh, right on.
He gets in some pretty serious leagues. So you can go from what you just did to what he's doing and everything in between. It's just cool that now you know that you can do it and you succeeded and you're the champion twice in a row. It's really stupid you had to win 2 championships. But.
And what's really crazy is Brent, my buddy that got me into it, he's in 25 different leagues.
Yeah, I think my brother's in quite a few too.
I was like, what? He's like, well, like the way you run. I was like, yeah. He's like, well, I play fantasy football and I play fantasy baseball. And I'm like, holy shit. My head would explode. 25 fucking leagues, my head would explode. It was enough that there were days.
Yeah, I couldn't do that.
That I didn't realize till like 2 or 3 weeks into, there's Dozier the dog. I didn't realize till like 2 or 3 weeks left in the season that I could actually change my lineup Sunday morning, even if my guys already played on Thursday. Even if I had a guy playing on Thursday, I could still change my lineup. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I wouldn't have either.
Now
you've done something that I've never done. I've done legal sports gambling for a long time.
Right.
I've never played fantasy football, baseball, any of that shit. So yeah, you got one up on me there, buddy.
So I'm gonna sign into your MGM app so we can use it for the playoffs. So I'll scroll through the phone and find that and get that signed up tonight. So then we can use that.
I'll just send you another one so you don't.
Yeah, send me another one. Send me another one, and then we can we'll talk before the weekend's games, and you can help me
Absolutely.
And
100%.
last night sucked because there was no Monday Night Football. It's like, what the fuck?
I know. A little depressing.
Did you see Belichick actually gave Eli what did he do? He basically came out and justified why Eli should be in the Hall of Fame because he's in the top 15 finalists.
I did not.
Basically said that there's no bigger stage for him to be on, and he always performed.
It's hard to argue that.
Right, because he beat Belichick twice and Brady twice. You don't fucking do that. Not many people can say that.
And that's the only thing that's going to get him in there.
I think the fact too that he had to go through to get there.
Not
right.
Let me rephrase that. That was a dumb
No,
statement.
I get what you. But that's the
that
general
is
population,
going to
though.
be that's going to be the reason he ultimately gets in there. Is what I wanted to say. Yes.
Yes, because
saying that's the only reason is discounting everything that you're trying to defend him on, which he had a lot of hurdles he had to get through to get to the Super Bowl to begin with, and then he won both times.
Right. I still think they're the only team that actually started as a wild card and won every single playoff game on the road and then won the Super Bowl.
I guess where I'm coming from is I think ultimately when I make my decision, that's what gets him in the Hall of Fame for me.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
It's hard to argue with Belichick's statement.
Right, because somebody else brought it up to the fact that it's not only did he beat Brady, but it's the people that he beat on the way to beat Brady.
Sure,
because it was Aaron Rodgers' Packers that he beat, and the first one they beat when they made it 19-1 for the Patriots, everything was on the road.
Because they were going through the wild card ranks.
I mean, they destroyed the Buccaneers. I remember that game, just fucking annihilated them. And that's when the playoffs were boring. They were Sunday afternoon, not these primetime bullshit.
Yep.
And then the Ice Bowl type shit, Coughlin's red-faced. Even Coughlin came out and said that there's no other quarterback we'd want when the game is on the line. So we'll see. I hope he gets in just for the
He won it both times, man. I think
Yeah.
Belichick's statement's kind of a mic drop moment. It's like
I do too.
If there's not a bigger stage, then what else are you going to compare him to? It's like he won the Super Bowl twice and against a team that was undefeated.
Yeah, and he's not in the top 10 of anything. He's got pushed out another category, so he's like top 11 for almost everything. But it's kind of like he's kind of like Baker. Like Baker should be in the MVP category this year because of what Baker's done and how well he's played. And he's taken Tampa Bay back to the promised land as far as playoffs are concerned.
Right.
Almost 5,000 yards passing. He's not in the conversation. But Baker Mayfield's a gunslinger. He just goes out there to ball. Eli went out to ball. He could care less about stats, and he'll tell you that. I don't give a fuck. You want to throw 3 picks? Okay, but if I get 4 touchdowns and we win, I'm happy.
Want to win games.
Baker's the same way. And I think you're losing that in the NFL with these new quarterbacks because they don't have that. They're all about, I want the guacamole. Instead of, and speaking of which, the fucking Giants, they're keeping Dayball and Schoen, man. Like, really?
I hear you.
Mara starts out the press conference. I'm at my wit's end. I'm running out of patience.
Yeah, at least we fired our coach. I'll give us that.
Yeah. Well, and I saw somebody's champion for that. It's like let them draft their own quarterback because they didn't draft Jones. Let them draft their own quarterback.
But did you see who we want to interview?
No.
Mike McCarthy. So let's go interview a failed fucking head coach.
But he's in Dallas.
Yeah, well, they're going to kick him out of there. That's almost pretty certain.
I don't. And see, that's like Kingsbury. They want somebody's going to interview Cliff Kingsbury, who's still getting paid by the Cardinals, by the way.
I don't want Mike McCarthy.
Because when you fire a coach in the NFL,
that's like having somebody's ex-girlfriend's ex-girlfriend.
Right.
Yeah. He was a coach of the Packers, and now he's a coach of the Cowboys. Like, what the fuck do we want with him?
No.
There's a reason the two storied franchises didn't want him.
Well, that's the thing with with Cliff Kingsbury. He's still getting paid. He's still getting paid the salary for coaching the Cardinals, even though he's not coached the Cardinals for 3 years. He's still got another year on the contract that they got to pay him. He's taken Washington to the promised land, but he's taken Washington to the promised land with a really good core of players. He's not a head coach. He's an OC. Daboll's not a head coach. He's an OC. Know your strength and stay there. Get your money. You fuck up, go back to being an OC and stay there. The Patriots fired Mayo. Mayo's going to be paid for the next 5 years. you watch, Vrabel's going to go to the Patriots.
Yeah, you might be right. He'd be a good fit there, I think.
Mm-hmm. Because he's got that Belichick mentality. Because he came through Belichick's system. He was a player.
You remember?
And he's a great coach. He was a great coach.
Yeah, you know that's Nicole Terrell's cousin, right?
Oh,
Yeah, they're related. I think it's her cousin. They're related
Right on.
somehow. Yeah, like
that's cool.
related to the point where they know each other, went to family reunions and shit, and yeah, that was always cool.
That is cool.
Yeah.
Right on. That's good. Hi, Terrells, Mike and Nicole.
Yeah, if you're listening,
Yeah,
shout out.
That
Been a long time.
That was a blast from the past.
Well, the Terrells and Carrie and I all had something in common in that we all lived at Kevin's at the same time. So there was like 2, 4, 5. I don't think Nick was there at the time. There was at least 5 of us in the house
Well,
because they were in between places and we were in between places. So yeah,
there you go. There you go. All right, my friend. You have a great night.
you too, brother.
Good talking to you.
You too, man. I needed it more than you can imagine. So
Yeah.
definitely
I timed my yard work to coincide with getting here on time today. Even with a flat tire, I went and ran looking for a flat tire, and then came home. Well, fuck it, I got to use the other one. And
it's much appreciated.
The zero turn's nice, but the John Deere cuts so much better. I don't know what it is, man, about the John Deere. Just when I first used it, I look back, I'm like, oh fuck, it's kind of like ooh, like yard porn. Oh, sexy. And the zero turn, it cuts it, but it doesn't have that, ooh, I'm a John Deere yard.
There's a reason John Deere sold so many fucking tractors and riding lawnmowers.
Did you know John Deere was gay?
I did not.
John
Learn
Deere
something
was
new
gay.
every day. Leave the listening audience with a good last tidbit.
John Deere was a cross-dressing gay man.
We're going to pick that up on the next episode.
Until next week. See ya.
Peace, brother.
Peace.